Hi, I'm Daniel Bobrysh, acting as Marion. And I am here with an interviewer at my house. And I would like to start the interview.
Hi Marion, nice to meet you. Marion, I would like to ask you a question. Why do you think your book is so popular?
Well, I think my book is so popular because it's the Holocaust in every detail. It makes it live, it makes it live, and it's a whole part of my life.
Is the book a real story or it's a fiction?
It's a real story. Actually, it was about me in the Holocaust.
So you're describing your personal life in the Holocaust?
I am actually, and I'm describing every detail in that book.
What is the most memorable part of this book?
This book, I remember that before my father got typhus fever and died, we were on the death train, and then they said something German, and it sounded like walk with the dead and clean up after the dead that the Nazis did and everything.
I'm not clear on your answer. Could you please elaborate?
So, basically, the death train, it was a train with all the dead people inside.
Where was it heading?
It was heading to Bergen-Belsen. Bergen-Belsen is part of the Holocaust, and when you were inside Bergen-Belsen, you were almost done for. It was sad. You couldn't do anything about it when you're in.
So your father died while he was on the train?
No, he actually died the same year as Holocaust ended.
I see. And the story when he caught typhus, that became one of the most memorable stories of your life. Why is that?
Well, because he's my father, and I can't imagine living without one.
So you were scared for his life? I see.
Yeah.
I see. I know that you burned your leg. Could you describe a little bit how it happened?
Honestly, the Nazis, they were torturing us, as you know, in the Holocaust. And one was so long before that I can't even remember. But I remember I did something and my leg felt in a heat place and it burned.
Very interesting. And who is Albert? You keep on mentioning in your book about Albert. Who is he?
Albert is actually my brother. He's a little bit older, 2-3 years.
And he was also part of the story?
Yes, actually, yeah.
I see. Why do you think the Holocaust even started?
Well, because the Jews, they just started intermarrying, and God wanted to separate ourselves, and God just took us into the Holocaust.
So you think it's a punishment from God?
It is. It has to be.
Are you describing it in a book, or a reader could see it between the lines?
A reader could see it between the lines.
I see. So why does your book called Four Perfect Pebbles? Why did you choose to name it in such a strange way?
4 perfect pebbles. As you know, perfect means all the same and similar in every type of way. So the same of every pebble is a size and shape and color and everything. So when I was young, I tried to look for 4 pebbles because there's 4 people in my family. My mommy, my daddy, my brother, and me. So 4 pebbles, the amount of my family, and the perfectness. And that means I heard somewhere that it inspired me, and it made me think in my brain, in my head, that probably if I look for 4 perfect pebbles, our family will stay. And I always got upset when I always found 2 or 3. I never got to find the 4th. Apparently I survived.
So in this particular case, the pebbles represent your family members, right?
Yeah.
And 4 because the family was part of 4?
Yeah.
And perfect because the family members were perfect.
Well, if they stayed together, that made them perfectly together. Like perfectly matched into a puzzle. Like the 4 pieces of a corner makes a corner.
Yeah. Why do you think the Jewish people intermarried?
Just, they got a little confused with the Torah, and they wanted to have a little fun, but it turned out to be bad, pretty bad.
I see. Very interesting. So could you describe a little bit how you ended up being in the United States?
Well, first, it was sad because when there's a list of people who go to America, the Nazis called out. They read through the whole list, and we hoped it was after Z because we didn't find it. And we couldn't go to America then. But after that, actually, we went during the death train, and after that, we felt and we knew it would end. We got to Bergen-Belsen. Actually, before on the death train, they gave us a loaf of bread that said on it would last you for 8 days, and also the person who directed the train was very nice to my mom. He said you could fill up as much water as you want.
So it's interesting because I asked you how you ended up going to America, but I think you just described how you went into concentration camp.
But after that, I went, and then finally, after Bergen-Belsen, a lot of torture, we finally got our visa.
And who gave you the visa? The American embassy?
Well, actually, first the part was if you have a relative, get money from the relative to go in. Then visa is like a passport to go on the ship to America. So we didn't have that before. Now we got it after all that torture, and we got to America.
So the American government sponsored your trip to the United States?
Yeah.
I see. And I would like to ask you a last question. Why do you think your book became so popular?
Well, the Holocaust. The Holocaust is a big part. And it just makes everybody wonder about how it happened.
But there is many books on Holocaust, and yet your book somehow stands out. Why do you think your book stands out?
Maybe because every detail and every little speck of dust in every corner is shown, and how she felt, and every little emotion and everything in. And lastly, after that, we got on a ship called New Amsterdam.
And where was this ship heading?
To America.
I see. Very interesting. Well, I thank you, Marion, very much for joining me for this wonderful interview. Thank you very much, and I wish you much of luck and success.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.